Donald Trump is now demanding not only that he get the people that he wants in his cabinet, but he get them without having to go through the normal process. Apparently, having a Senate now dominated by Republicans wouldn't be deferential enough for him. And so he's saying that any Republican senator seeking the coveted leadership position in the US Senate must agree to recess appointments in the Senate. Yeah, that's where they happen, bozo. Anyway, without which we will not be able to get people confirmed in a timely manner. We need positions filled immediately. Now there is some honesty and there's a lie as well. The honesty is that he does not think some of the people he's going to be nominating would make it through a full Republican Senate vote. Remembering that there are a couple of Republicans that occasionally do the right thing. The fact that we need it in a timely manner, I don't think that's fundamentally the problem. It's a Republican Senate. You think they can't schedule votes? That's not the issue. It's qualification, mental stability. I think those are the things that are leading him to want to do these recess appointments. And bear in mind, this is a thing that he can potentially do. Presidents have power under the Constitution to make emergency appointments to the executive branch and federal judiciary when the Senate is on break. But the Supreme Court has ruled that a recess must extend for 10 days or longer to justify a recess appointment. The way that it generally works is they do like pro forma micro sessions to break that up so that presidents don't do the recess appointments. That rule is in the Constitution for emergencies. Donald Trump is not proposing an emergency. He just wants to be able to choose whoever he wants without having to have a real vote on it. That's it. That said, whether he's using this in a dishonest way or a way that's against the will of the founders is largely irrelevant. It is possible to do it. And with all of the Republicans that want to lead the Senate, become the majority leaders of the Senate now, all basically saying like, I want Papa Trump to support me, they're likely to allow him to do just that, which means, and we're going to tell you some of the people that have already been put forward for these important positions, crazier ones are likely coming soon, Francesca.
Yeah, America's next top cuck is already underway. I mean, what's amazing about like the stipulation to be the Senate leader is you have to agree to basically like hamstring and like nullify the importance of the Senate. That's what he's saying. It's not enough that they won the Senate. That's not good enough for Trump. That's not good enough for a wannabe dictator and authoritarian. I don't want to go through the normal channels. I want to directly appoint under emergency powers. I mean, this is sort of, what's so funny about the every accusation is a confession again is like, they always think the Democrats are going to declare some sort of state of emergency and then ram through a bunch of legislation. And then they declare a state of emergency and ram through appointments and legislation and everything else that they're about to do. So, silver lining, I said this before we started, John, now we're all learning what is recess appointment. Just like in the first term, we were all like, how does all this work? In Trump's first term, we were all like, oh, damn, dude, wait. There's no safeguards against what this guy's doing? No, they're not. There are not.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. We're gonna learn. And honestly, if we just have to learn how it all works and that's how it goes, that at least implies that some of the rules continue to exist. So, hey, that'll be good news. If all of a sudden it doesn't matter how any of this is written, that's when we're in truly
I love that.
Dark waters.
Oh, look, he's breaking the rules. That means there was a rule.
Yeah.
Anyone?
By the way, I know everybody is like looking to divine, is he going to be as crazy as the Dems said he would? Is he going to be more reasonable than the Dems were saying? Was it just fear mongering? And there's, we're going to look at all the different evidence. I will say, he said he would be a dictator on day one. And day one hasn't even gotten here, and he's already saying, I don't want to have votes on my crazy ass nominees. So I think score one to the Democrats so far on predictions of what he would be like. And you're totally right. It is one thing for him to like dissolve the Senate, like in Star Wars or something.
Sure.
When the Senate self-dissolves so that they can technically be majority leader, that's worse, I think, actually.
That was so ballless. You just had they were just tied up in a second.
Exactly. And how is America's next top cuck not our session or our I can't think of words
the name of the podcast
today. Our
today?
segment for as he's choosing people. I'm gonna throw out some people and you tell me what you think, okay? So Susie Wiles had been chosen as chief of staff. Some people are like, well, she's been around since Reagan. That's reasonable, I guess.
Yikes, that's
Okay.
so scary.
You remember the Reagan years. They were great for everyone. But anyway, get a load of Stephen Miller as deputy chief of staff for policy. Elise Stefanik for ambassador to the UN, and former ICE director Tom Homan to be border czar. In addition to overseeing the southern northern borders and maritime and aviation security, Trump said that he will be in charge of all capital D deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. So he's the head of ICE, and now he will be the border czar. Remember, we didn't have a border czar under Joe Biden, despite the Republican attempt to pretend that's what Harris was, but now we do. It's Tom Homan, who, I mean, he's never met a person he didn't want to deport, so I guess he's qualified.
Tom Homan. Homan. I love Elise Stefanik as the head of like the UN ambassador, just being like, your country is woke. You're like, ma'am, this is Zimbabwe. You're like, yeah, full of wokies. Just like that's what she would do. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing is like woke. Like, why are there other countries? She was that's so funny to me. But also interesting that she like, I don't know, he appointed Nikki Haley last time. There's something about like putting a woman in a place where he truly doesn't care about, which is any amount of like global diplomacy. So that's kind of fitting. Stephen Miller, deputy, okay, not chief of staff, just deputy. He's on the sidelines. And then Homan is just, I mean, this guy's nuts, you know? And again, it's John. There is an apparatus for mass deportations. ICE was created after 9/11. Let's remember that. You know, the Department of Homeland Security created after 9/11. All of our money going to the border as if that will fix our problems. And sadly, the Democrats have not come up with a countervailing narrative that no, immigrants are not the reason that you can't make ends meet. That's not happening. Instead, they're like, well, we're gonna be diet Republicans on the border. Can we please stop this?
Yeah, and that gets to my call for the word. People want a thing that they can understand as the cause of their problems. Wouldn't it be nice if we gave them something that was compelling, that worked well for campaigning, but was also true? Let's work on that.